You like the dicks? Oh, that's
going in the end of the year montage, right?
That's all you. That's cool.
Liked all the dicks.
I respect you. This week's episode is brought to you by our buddies over at Mutiny Info Cafe, where they not only have a great selection of used books, records, and great coffee, but they also have a fantastic selection of new and used comic books, graphic novels, manga, posters, Gundam robots, and more. Mutiny Information Cafe at the corner in Denver, at the corner of Broadway and Ellsworth, and online at mutinyinfocafe.com.
Mutiny Info K. What's up?
You guys should record that separate.
Everybody welcome. Comically Gaming episode 51. I'm Nate. This is my brother Corey. Yep. We got some special guests for most of the show. I'm pointing up there right down.
51.
Yes, we got Casey, the movie night. We got Dirk, our DM, the lifers. Yep, exactly. And
Mastering Dungeons.
Episode 51. Just a few quick things to get out of the way. New subscribers this week. We went from 544 last week to 558 this week. Thank you so much to the new subscribers. If you're watching the show, can't say enough how much we appreciate y'all. Thank you. And then the other thing is that next week will be episode 52. If you're keeping track, we have done a show every single week, so that means it's also our 1-year anniversary. We've asked for all of our friends to send us a quick 15-20 second video saying,
on the way,
saying hi or whatever you guys want to say to us, and we want to put a little collage together and for our 1st-year anniversary.
The new 52.
We love you guys. We love you all.
The love. All right, so speaking of feeling the love, Corey, how's your week? What's up?
It's pretty good. Feeling a lot of love. I got Makoto. I got the teacher. It's tough dealing with all the girls in Persona. Like I don't know which one I want to go with. No, they're
on Persona. I think my wife might be up for Persona. Is that something that?
Yeah, I mean, does
What's the
she
question?
like?
Is it something that what?
If somebody likes, say, Hot Shots, is there something? Is there a thread that I can connect into Persona a little bit?
I don't see that thread. I do not see that thread.
They're both kind of. They're both kind of Japanese.
I showed her the trailer for Persona, and she was sort of in. She was like, I think I would totally play that. So I was like, all right, let's give it a shot.
So it's quite literally, one of the greatest video games of all time. It literally is. This week is the first week for me where I did not play Zelda and I did play Persona. That hasn't happened since those 2 games came out, and Persona's kind of won me over.
Damn.
For an old school RPG, the way that the fights work, it's incredible how fun it is and engaging that it is. And then for the story, you get to be such. There's not character development in video games like Persona. Period.
That's incredible. That's super difficult for me.
It's super difficult. I mean, the decisions I have to make are so fucking painstaking. Like, I mean, you don't even understand. Like,
that's like Dragon Age.
I want to hang out with Sojiro. I want to hang out with Sojiro so bad. Like, he's my mentor, and he's taking me in, and he's got my back. He's such a good dude, and he's like starting to soften up to me. And on the other hand, I got this put together. Like,
this is what happens when you start the show with the buzzword.
And it's like she wants to go, but we're not quite committed yet. And what do? I mean, I got my mentor who's got my back, who's my homie, all the way along, and obviously I want to.
This sounds like the Trials of Anakin Skywalker.
It
I
is.
Think of a better ad for this game.
It's like
I will make one disclaimer, Dirk. So based on
Yeah.
like what for somebody who's not into video games, I have not gotten very far in Persona 5, but I beat Persona 4, 100 hours in that game, and
Mhm.
there's some moments in that where being an adult male playing it is uncomfortable on where they go with these teenager relationships with each other. It's a little bit weird.
okay.
If
You mean when your
there's-
family's
Typical
watching,
anime
right?
then.
Yeah, there's some key moments where if people walked in the room and just saw that particular scene out of context, it would be
Well,
really
Fuck
weird.
them.
To be honest, there's some in Witcher like that too. I mean, she walked in when
There's
that whole
definitely some of
that
them, for
scene.
sure.
So
Christian,
I just
fuck
want to throw
yeah.
that out there. It's weird because they're teenagers. That's where it's weird.
No, it gets weird when I can't
Don't
even
spoil
put
it.
out. I can't even put out the spoilers.
Yeah, 'cause
I
it
can't
gets
even
weird.
put out the spoilers.
It
yet.
definitely
No,
gets
I
weird.
think it's
It's
probably
not
gonna be my
weird
next
yet.
purchase.
It's-
So
Well,
Good.
you're
It
talking
gets
about-
weird when
It gets weirder.
Go ahead.
It gets weirder.
All right, Corey, what else? Persona? What else you got?
Persona, I got American Gods. I saw the past. I've seen the first 2 episodes.
You did. What do you think?
I like it. I like watching that devil chick suck people into her vag. It's cool.
That's the first thing that you mentioned about it.
Yep. There's a lot of dicks. Too many dicks.
I think in all TV
I know what
and
he's trying to say.
movies, there's nothing but naked chicks. There's never naked dudes. I appreciate
Right.
looking at some hogs
it's
every
cool.
now and then.
They never
TV.
show.
It's your
They never
feminist
show the
point of view.
vag. They show the vag. I appreciate that too. Yeah.
All right.
I haven't
that-
watched it yet, but I
Dicks aside.
Dicks aside, I'm digging it.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
I
Dirk, you
like
said
it.
you haven't
I
seen
am
it?
super hyped for next episode with the hammer. I want to see
Yep.
what happens.
Yep, I'm with you.
It's
And that dude was the Hound, right?
what?
That dude's the Hound, right?
is the Hound in there?
Yeah.
Rory McCann? That's the actor's name.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Well,
Yes,
Ian
no,
McShane
that
was
look
in
on
Game of
Corey's
Thrones
face
last
makes
season
me-
with the Hound.
Yeah,
Think
and
you
there's some
didn't
other
think-
people, right? There's some other Game of Thrones casts in there. No,
I haven't seen him
I
yet.
could be wrong.
If there
Okay,
are. Yep. But anyways, so Casey, Dirk, haven't seen it?
have not
Gods?
seen it yet. I'll
No.
probably watch
super-
it tomorrow night.
Super
I'm a movie night. I don't watch a
fascinating,
ton of TV unless it's insanely good.
It's cool.
I did read the
So
book
far-
though, so
You read the book?
I mean, yeah, it's Neil Gaiman.
yes.
So, I mean, the
Don't
book
spoil
was
anything.
incredible. Yeah.
Okay. So, the TV show, if you're not walking into it aware of it, it wasn't until the second show where I actually realized what was going on and went back to the first show then and picked all these people out. So all the everybody who's a part of the story is a part of some different mythology from around the world, and so it's really cool where like I watch these shows now and then I go back and Google, you know, like so in episode 2, without spoiling anything, they're quite clearly are hanging out with a bunch of Russians, and so I had to go back and Google, you know, Russian mythology, and then it brings me to Slavic mythology, and then I'm learning
Yeah.
about these.
That's awesome.
Yeah, different.
Isn't it
you know,
called American Gods, though? Why would they have gods from everywhere if they call it American Gods
that's
constantly?
part of the
They
story
talk. Yeah, they go
that I
into
won't
that.
ruin, yeah.
That's like
So-
Guardians of the Galaxy in Delaware. That's it. It's in Delaware.
I don't. Okay, I'm just basing this off of the trailer, but it feels like it's very visually different
It
in
is.
terms of the graphics, special effects, whatnot. It feels. I don't know how to put a. You know. It feels
In a good way
different.
or a bad way?
Good way. It
Yeah.
looked gorgeous.
Yeah, it
when
is.
I
Isn't
s-
it
the
great?
shots that I
Channel it's
saw.
It
Well,
is,
it's
right?
Weird.
on fucking stars.
It's weird how that chick sucks people into her vag.
Dude, Stars had Spartacus. Spartacus is one of the best
That's
shows
weird.
ever.
That's weird, right?
It's pretty weird.
I mean, I watched Game of Thrones, so
I mean,
pit-
we all
pitches
agree on that,
few
right?
demons out of their vaginas in Game of Thrones. Is not
Right.
Now,
Yeah, Melisandre's already been there
that-
a
Yeah,
little bit.
just the opposite. Instead of sucking them in, she pushes them out.
Right.
All right. So, what's up, everybody? We got a different group
We're
of
back.
people, yeah, for this whole show. Joining us for this segment, we got Casey, and we've got who is that?
Brandon?
Is that the TMNT villain?
Crane?
It's Kid Boo.
Kid Boo.
Oh,
let's
Oh,
get
okay.
them.
Gotcha.
Dragon Ball.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was totally off in left field there. But yeah, Dirk.
It was on his
Casey-
stomach, so it looked like Krang too.
Who's Kid Boo?
Kid
You know-
Boo?
I feel like we should have kept Chance around and we just had a 5-way
Drag 'em
conversation.
Yeah, drag him out. That's what I was saying earlier. We'll get him next time. We'll see Chance in the next
Okay.
segment. This is going to lead into the movies, into the
You'll
Guardians
have another chance.
topic. Yeah, there'll be more. So we just want to do a brief topic about trailers because so many trailers can either hit this week or, what really brought this to my mind about wanting to do this with you guys is when I was sitting in the theater and watching the Star Wars and Thor trailers again. I was just like, damn, with both of those. The Star Wars trailer, again, that I don't even care anything that happens in that whole trailer. The first shot of her taking that deep breath just gave me goosebumps and tears and all that crap all at once. I'm the cheesiest man on earth when it comes to that stuff. I'm just like,
See, I got shushed. I got shushed because I went to the. I don't know if things are different with 20-year-olds nowadays, but I had a 21-year-old to my right and a 20-year-old to my left. I'm 29, and they wanted to chat it up during the trailers, and maybe it was just the way we're raised. Our dad loves the previews. He's always been a big preview lover, and they were just talking it up throughout the previews, and this guy in front of us stood up and turned around and said, "Hey, you guys going to talk throughout the whole movie?" And I was like, "No."
That guy's a hero.
Like,
Anyone who makes it to where I don't have to be a dick is a hero to me. I'm like,
Right?
you're off.
but in Florida, the other thing, my parents live in Florida. The one guy killed the guy who was using his cell phone in the movie theater.
Yes, I heard about that. Yeah.
That guy did us all a favor because fuck those
No,
people
everyone
that
shuts
use
up.
their cell phones
Yeah.
in the fucking middle of a movie. I mean,
The
if you're paying
the
money
problem
to
with
go to
this
a
is
fucking
The trailer thing, I think, comes down to YouTube because you can watch a trailer a million times the second it comes out, and I've never seen a trailer in the last like 6 years in theaters before I saw it on Facebook or something.
I agree.
True.
So
Right.
they don't care about it, so they don't give it the respect. It
yeah, they were
deserves.
old as
But, like,
he
yeah,
was
Star
old as
Wars-
fuck. He
That's
was
true.
really old.
And he cared.
So
Yeah,
what's
it was-
the last? Wait, Nate kind of hit upon this, but what's the last trailer that really moved you? You know, in a similar way to what you just sort of hit upon.
Yeah, I mean that was it. You know, I mean
Yeah.
that was the one that like hit me in the chest and maybe gave me goosebumps and teary eyes. And
Same with Star Wars. Same here. When I saw Ray coming up,
yeah, and it's just seeing Ray, just being
Oh my
excited about
God.
what that movie is going to be like again. It wasn't, that oh my God, this is like some revelation going on in this trailer.
Yeah.
So
Thor looked awesome to me.
Is
I
what
was
it
more
is.
excited about Thor.
Thor looks
it
fantastic.
looked awesome. It didn't give me goosebumps. It got me hyped up. Like
No.
I was happy. Like I was like, fuck yeah.
It's a different type of trailer. It's not
be
an
honest,
ominous dark
For
trailer.
me, the last time I felt that way was it wasn't a trailer per se, but at the end of Avengers, the reveal of Thanos, I lost it in the
Right?
theater. I was just like, holy shit.
Funny. That's
No
funny.
one
Yep.
knew who that fucking was, though. I had to explain to like 20 fucking people after that.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but I mean, I've had a man crush on Thanos since I was little, so
Right.
You love.
That's funny.
that was just crazy.
All right, he
for me.
only loves death.
So I did want to just take
He has a lot of
before
daughters.
before we move on, you text me saying that you're not down with the Star Wars trailer. I was totally down with the
Hey,
Star Wars trailer, even
shots
besides
fired.
just my initial thing. So I just
You're
wanted
dumb,
to.
Casey.
I'll give you. Okay, why,
like
if we're gonna
the
go
different
through,
opinions. I
if
like
we're
the
gonna go through all the
counterpoints.
trailers, we'll start with the Star Wars trailer because it's obviously the biggest trailer like of the month, right?
Right.
Here's the thing.
It's a
I have
teaser
YouTube-
trailer. It's a great
Let him go.
teaser.
Let him go.
I have a YouTube channel where I do movie reviews, and it's been mentioned to me that some people would be interested to watch my reaction to certain trailers. And I thought, well, you know what? Star Wars Celebration's coming up, and we've waited a painful amount of time to see any footage from Episode 8. And I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, junkie, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't wait for this trailer to come out, and every day Celebration was happening, I was refreshing my feed on Twitter and Facebook constantly like a crack addict. Like I thought it was going to feed me if I kept clicking that damn button. Then it came out, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch it once, gather my thoughts, do a reaction. like within the first 10 minutes of me seeing it. So I'm still like in that perpetual, like, 7-year-old kid me version of myself. It didn't do that much for me. Like, I watched it and I was like, that's it? And I know it's a teaser, so everyone's going to be like, it's a teaser, don't be a dick. I'm like, I know that. But the first teaser for Force Awakens came 7 months earlier than this one did.
Yeah.
By this time at Celebration, we had the second trailer that showed us a little bit more about the story. We got a lot more, and we saw things we'd never seen before in both trailers. In this trailer, I didn't see anything I've never seen before, except for
wait for the fucking movie then.
There was like
it's the dark sequel to so they're probably keeping it more under wraps than maybe the first one.
And I don't want to know the whole story. I don't want spoilers. I hate spoilers. If you show me footage from the first 5 minutes of the movie, it won't spoil shit. But I guarantee you there's something in the first 5 minutes of the movie that would pump me up more than what I saw in this trailer. So as a whole, from what I was expecting, waiting for an obscene amount of time, it wasn't enough to get me.
Man, I don't know. Seeing Finn in that chamber, I was like, whoa.
No, I agree. Honestly, I agree with you to a certain point, Casey. I felt like there wasn't enough shown. It was when I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm still hyped for Star Wars. But when I saw Rey come on the screen, I was, I hadn't seen her. I hadn't seen her since episode 7, and I got goosebumps.
You acted like you're in a long distance relationship with Rey. Like you're like, girl,
I am.
And
we're tight. And
can I just say this though? Like at the end of the trailer, what Luke says is so fucking depressing that if they could have given me like a little jab at the end to get me more hyped, that one just made me sad. Like the Jedi.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
To me, I just want more dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it was Snoke saying that or Kylo saying that,
right?
Boom! I'm exploding all over the screen. It wasn't. It was Luke, and I was like, "This sucks." I'm like, "What does that even mean?" It's so cryptic. It's almost too cryptic.
Okay. So we're 7.5 minutes in on the first trailer. We got to make these other ones a little bit faster.
It's the biggest one.
It is for sure.
It's true.
The next one that I had was Thor. Just watching that again. My one thing, I really liked it the first time I watched it. I really like how colorful it is. We talked about that in the past.
Guardians of the Galaxy. It's very similar.
Yeah,
right?
it is very similar. And it's that cosmic. It's the Marvel cosmic brand now.
Right.
And I think that the thing that really strung through to me when I was sitting in the theater this weekend and that came on, my wife leaned over to me and she's like, "Man, these are just getting weirder and weirder," and she didn't mean that in a bad way. She actually meant that in a good way, and I agree that it is. It's funny that they're doing stuff with this movie that if you thought 10 years ago, there's going to be a movie about the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor and Doctor Strange going on a space adventure to fight
before
the Hulk
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
all this stuff. So
I think they have to at this point, right? I mean, if it's the third one. You gotta throw a curveball to keep people interested. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe they showed Mjolnir being destroyed in the trailer. That's another thing. I hate spoilers.
Yeah.
That would have been an amazing moment to see for the first time on an 80-foot screen.
Agreed.
I'm a little pissed about that.
Yeah, agreed.
sure.
But Led Zeppelin made that trailer.
Yeah.
Oh man, absolutely.
You can't not get into it when you hear
they
that.
haven't used that before, right?
I don't think so. Last time I saw
That's
that in a movie
no
was
fucking
Shrek.
brainer.
What trailer is it? We're just
Shrek
watching with
3, I think,
Nirvana.
used it.
What's the Nirvana trailer?
That's
Defenders.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
stupid.
But it's
It
like a
was
remix
stupid.
version.
Don't use Nirvana. Come on.
Incredibly stupid.
I like
Because they remixed it. That's
We'll
what
get
I
to
didn't
that.
like about it.
Hold on. Let's get back.
Oh, cool. I get to be the happy guy about that one.
Let's stay on target. Yeah. So any other comments about Thor? Looks awesome. Looks weird.
Hulk, awesome.
Looks great.
I like the comic
can't wait.
aspect. I hope they play that out.
Agreed.
Kate Blanchett looks amazing as
Oh,
Hela.
absolutely.
She could be the first amazing villain like
Who's
this.
that, Hela?
Truly despicable.
Yeah, it's Hela. Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
she looks great. Yeah,
Hella,
for
hella.
sure.
So next was Spider-Man. Nobody here watched the new Spider-Man one besides me?
I did.
Second
When
one.
he snuck into his room.
Yes. Right.
Yeah,
So we had
that
a new
was
I watched the
Spider-Man
one that
trailer.
mattered.
Unlike those last two, we had a new trailer this week for Spider-Man. Again, I think follows the tradition of the last one of spoiling too much for me. I
Yeah.
wish, again, it
That's
just,
a 2-minute scene that we've seen.
yes, once that scene comes up in the movie, it'll be like, okay, I've already seen this.
Fast
and-
forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was
As long as it's not another origin story, I mean, it's
yeah,
He's already Spider-Man. This can't be an origin.
yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It
In the
seems
pre-
clear that it's not going to be that.
right. And the previous one I thought spoiled the the whole suit thing. Like, I wish I didn't know that
Yeah.
that was happening, and it did it. But yeah, is what it is. Regardless,
What do you think? Do you think they'll kill Uncle Ben in the credits, in the intro credits?
right? That'd be a good idea for sure. The one other thing I was just
I
going to
don't
mention
think
about
so.
that is the first ever Spider-Man movie where all the kids look like high schoolers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Finally.
Kudos for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
The last
that
one was
episode.
ridiculous. I mean,
I
it was-
hated
it was
it.
like
Zach
90
loved
or
it.
something.
She's
Zach
hot as
loved it,
fuck,
and I
though.
hated
She's really hot. Emma Stone.
I liked that
Oh, yeah.
movie. The fact that they tried to pass any of them off as high schoolers was a joke.
I thought Tobey Maguire did the best he could, but I don't want my high school Spider-Man with the receding hairline. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's a
Not
problem.
believable. Get that guy some fucking makeup or something. I don't know.
So
Some spray.
the next one is Blade Runner. That came out, I think,
Yes.
today or yesterday.
So fucking good.
Yeah,
Holy
I couldn't be more
shit.
excited for that now after watching that trailer.
Dude, let me take lead on this.
Sure.
Denis Villeneuve is the director of this movie, and he is, if you look up his IMDb credits, he is one of the best artistic directors in our modern time. The last movie he did was Arrival, and that
Okay.
movie is
Yeah.
freaking gorgeous, thought-provoking, well acted. If he can get anything close to that, and from the aesthetic of the trailer, like if the story is half as good as the movie looks as far as artistry, it's gonna be one of the best movies of the year.
I think
Far
Ghost
enough.
in the Shell looked better. So
It's different.
That's
shiny, and
yeah.
if it's even half of the original, it'll be amazing.
right. So
I've never seen
full
Blade
disclosure,
Runner.
Gosling's
I was told not to
good.
shit on you guys, but Corey and Casey have not seen Blade Runner, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm
Corey?
waiting to see it right before because
No,
I
I
just
haven't
want to watch it like one thing.
So
That might not be a good thing, though.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm 100% like Blade Runner. If you're into sci-fi, it's must
Absolutely top
see.
three. One of the top three, probably in the top three greatest sci-fi films ever.
I mean, I've
Absolutely.
seen 2001. I've seen Logan's Run. I've seen a lot of those movies from those eras,
this-
those older
this is-
eras. But
it's different.
I know it's
I
different.
mean, yeah, it's just God bless.
Yeah. So my whole point is not to shit on you guys, not to make fun of you, but you got to watch
Well,
it.
then don't
before-
shit
You got to
on
watch
us.
it. I'm not.
well, and I
shitting
don't
on you,
think I'm
just
going
saying
to
you
watch
gotta
it like an hour before I see Blade Runner 2. I'm going to watch it like a week before I see it, so I have
We-
time to
we should-
digest it and understand it.
We should
Daryl
have a
Hannah.
pre-Blade Runner 2049 Blade Runner reactions show. Like the
Yeah.
week
Yeah.
before, we have
That'd be
this.
cool.
Yeah,
Let's do
for the original Blade Runner, and then go from there.
What we hope to expect and stuff. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Totally.
pumped about that Blade Runner in the same way that I was pumped about Mad Max, and that delivered to me
Hell yeah, it did.
in the same respect. You know, I think it's going to be along those lines. Just like holy shit.
I hope so. For
What?
sure.
What point are we at in the show?
This will be right before the Guardians.
Right before the final spot.
Yes. Yep. Third topic. But no, hold off on the buzzball. I can tell from that look on your face. Wait, we got a lot more show to go.
You got a buzzball? I love those.
All right. So
Yeah,
we're
they're
done.
great, aren't they?
They taste like shit most of the time, but they do the job.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman.
exactly.
Wonder Woman's next. New Wonder Woman trailer this week.
I don't know,
Let's go around
man.
the horn.
I
thought it looked dope.
think it does. I'm just worried because it's DC. I don't know. I've
Well,
always
yeah.
have a fear in my
there's
head.
always that hesitance, of course.
Yeah, right.
But,
This one looks
but it
colorful.
looks good.
It looks
Yeah,
colorful.
If it wasn't DC and you just saw it as a Wonder
Right.
Woman trailer, it looks badass.
Yeah.
It looks really awesome. Like,
I was against the casting, but now it's hard to see them going a different direction. I think she's going to do a great job. Gal Gadot is very untrained in the acting arts. I mean, she's been in Fast and the Furious and Batman vs Superman, so her track record isn't amazing, but she was
Fast and
definitely
Furious.
one of the stronger parts of Batman vs Superman. So I feel like this movie could be great as long as they do the gods part of it, the Zeus and Hades and all.
I love the
that part
mythology.
right,
That's
it'll be
my
cool.
favorite part about it.
Me too. And it could be great, and it could be Clash of the fucking Titans. So here's me hoping.
Oh, don't say. Are we talking about the remake or the
Yeah.
original?
Okay. I'm with your,
The one that the
that
tweens
thought
that would
process.
watch the kind of stuff would know about.
Because I'm a big Calibus fan. I mean,
Not the one with the
out there.
fucking Matronic owl from
Okay.
the
All right.
50s, whatever
Good.
the fuck it was.
Good. Let's not talk
Bobo.
about that one. So my only point with Wonder Woman is that coming right out of Guardians of the Galaxy and watching that, where everybody in that trailer is just taking themselves too seriously. You know what I mean? Like and that's the problem with those other movies too. So
It's also set in World War One, though, so
I
there's
know.
real world implications, not just a superhero input. There's other people in danger than her, so I think that's going to add some gravity to it. But as long as the humor works when they punch it in, I think it'll be okay. But from what I've seen from the trailers, like 1 out of every 3 jokes made me chuckle, so
Right.
that's a decent ratio for a comic book movie.
until they make a good
Yeah.
movie, I don't think they can.
Yeah,
Bottom
this is
line.
our dad. This is our dad's.
It
hate
sucks for
on
them
this stuff.
because the thing is, I walk in like
He had seen
skeptical
comedy.
immediately, and I feel like I'm not going to judge it fairly
Right.
because I'm going to compare it against every other DC movie.
Well, it's
Right.
going to be a totally different tone and
Well, that's not
yeah,
very.
I hope so.
different timeline.
Okay.
Compared against every
Or-
DC movie, they're all terrible.
Right.
I
That's
think
what I'm
Man of
saying.
Steel-
We got 4 more. I got to keep it moving. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm going to interrupt.
Man of
Oh,
Steel's a good
wow.
movie, just for the
What
record.
an asshole!
Dark Tower. Does Dark Tower do anything for anybody here?
Not for me.
No?
I've never read the
Okay,
book.
Mark?
I mean, it's all right.
Casey?
I like what's his
Stephen
name?
King writes great stories, and it's one of his most famous. Plus, you got 2 Oscar caliber actors in Matthew
Yes.
McConaughey and Idris Elba,
Yeah.
and that they're doing Idris Elba as the hero, Matthew McConaughey as
Yes,
the villain.
I love Idris
I'm
Elba.
interested because of that.
I like the
Have-
actors.
have
Yeah,
any,
they're good.
Have any of us read all of those books?
No,
No.
but there is a comic
Just
book
checking.
format.
I'm just checking.
I don't know if anybody's read those, but
It doesn't come out on Wednesday for $5. I don't fucking read it. Sorry.
All right, so the next one was I agree with all your points there. Anybody else want to make a point? I'm
No,
totally on board.
There's
with
nothing
exactly
to
what
talk
you
about. Stupid ass Dark Tower.
If people love
I
it
thought it
enough
looked cool.
to where it has the momentum to get made,
I mean, it looked cool.
giant-
Oh yeah, it's
Probably
fucking
good.
awesome. Good.
Idris Elba. I mean, yes.
It looked.
All right,
Yeah,
It's worth
cool
watching.
guns.
okay, moving on.
I'm not. I'll torrent it.
I'm against that.
All right.
Shame.
Moving on. We're moving on to TV now. That was all the recent movie trailers. We had 2 TV ones. The first is of little consequence, but the Inhumans. That one was basically just
When did that
voice
come out?
over top of the logo this
Oh,
week.
okay.
It was as teaser can be.
Oh my god.
Wait, that's a TV. I thought it was a
Medusa?
movie.
It's a
Medusa.
ABC.
Medusa looks
God.
fucking awful.
Does
It's
she? Haven't
off
seen
of
it.
Agents of
Has
S.H.I.E.L.D.
anyone
We need to
seen
talk
her?
about it?
No.
Dirk, did you see her?
No, I didn't see her. I can
Oh my
imagine.
God,
Though. How
you
do they
guys
make
see
her
that
look good
fucking-
on film, though?
Google it.
How do you
don't.
make her?
Everyone Google it right now. She looks like the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen.
Dude, I
Oh my
thought
God.
they did her
It
hair.
looks so terrible.
Corey,
It
was it
looks
you that said you love
so
Doctor Strange?
bad.
You love Doctor
No,
Strange.
that was Chance. I do
That's
love
it.
Doctor Strange.
Well, check this out. Imagine if they did her hair the way they did his cape, where it kind of have a life of its own and moves around by itself. That's what I envisioned, and I was like, that'd be great. They don't have the fucking budget at ABC to do that. And
Oh
that's,
my god! Is it like
ABC
clay hair?
has- Yeah,
Does she have,
look
like,
how
clay hair?
terrible it looks. Do you see it now, Dirk?
It looks like paper mache.
Oh my god, it looks
Yeah, that's
so
awful.
terrible. It looks so bad.
Black Bolt doesn't look right either, in my opinion.
Wait, she's got that purple outfit too.
Yeah,
Oh, that looks terrible.
they all look terrible. They all look like they're terrible cosplayers.
I didn't even
This-
see the dog. Where's the dog?
Oh, Lockjaw.
Yeah, I didn't see it. If you can't afford Lockjaw, don't do
Wow.
a fucking.
I
I
know,
don't-
but you know he's gonna be CGI. It's gonna look shitty.
He's
I mean,
gonna be like the
that's-
direwolves in Game of Thrones, where they show up like once a season for 2
Right.
seconds.
They,
Is that what you're
they
talking
look
about?
terrible.
Is that the image you're talking about? It looks like she's pasted on top of a
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah,
No, that
exactly.
outfit?
She looks awful. They look
You remember
terrible.
the early Marvel movies before they sort of redid everything, like the first Captain America
Yes.
from the 80s or whatever? That's what it looks like.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it looks really bad. I mean,
All right.
like, are they doing that because their hair is supposed to do something cool, or?
I've
Like,
seen cosplay
I-
in San Diego better than that.
Yeah,
Way
it's
better.
really
Okay.
bad.
And then finally,
Like,
That sucks, too. 'Cause I
finally
like
is the
humans,
Defenders trailer. Let's.
and humans are cool. Yeah.
yeah.
we're-
No,
I think we're all.
They could be
agreed.
their X-Men if they did it right, but they
I'll
didn't.
get into that in the comic book segment, but yeah.
So Defenders trailer. So
I like-
Yeah.
We got another hallway.
hallway.
We love hallway fights.
Dude, the hallway fight was cool, except for if you watch it again, watch what Jessica Jones does, because she like punches a guy and then like intentionally moves back so that Luke Cage can punch a guy, and then
That's
he
awesome.
intentionally moves back. Like that staging, that choreography was a little bit
It's
choppy
too much,
for me.
you think? Yeah, I'd have to watch it.
No,
again.
it was
I
just
liked
it, like
the first
it was
time.
like this. Okay, then I step back, and then Daredevil jumps off a wall.
Yeah.
So who is Sigourney Weaver supposed to be?
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
Who's she playing?
The bad guy.
Some bad villain. She's a badass bitch.
It has to
Riley.
have something to do with the hand, right? It has to.
You'd think
The-
so.
Yeah.
The hand was in every one of those shows,
Right.
right?
Yeah, and Elektra's been, well, spoiler, but
So, right.
Elektra's been, revamped.
She should be the villain.
Via the
Elektra
hand.
will probably be the villain.
She
Yeah.
will be the villain, but she's going to be a different Elektra.
They're not going
you-
to fight
you
Sigourney
don't pay
Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver though, if to make some no-name Elektra your villain.
No, she's
know
going
what
to
I
be
mean?
in office buildings.
Well,
have
they
a full
play-
sky view.
They
Right.
paid
She's gonna be
Glenn
rich and white.
Close. I mean, Glenn Close had that Guardians role. What? I mean, how how long was she in that for?
Yeah, it's
That's a
crazy.
5
movie.
minutes total.
Movies are different.
Right. Okay, so what do you guys? We'll go around the horn one time. What do you think about the Defenders, Dirk? You first.
Oh man, I don't know. Look, I know everybody disagrees with me. Jessica Jones is really the only one I cared for. So
I agree. Jessica Jones was the only good one.
that's the only one I liked.
Daredevil?
It could be. I like
Daredevil is
some
alright.
Daredevil.
Luke Cage
Yeah.
was alright. Iron Fist was alright, but Jessica Jones was good. I really like Jessica
Absolutely.
Jones. And
All right.
I couldn't agree
Still
more,
Dirk's
but
turn. Hold on.
it could go either way. To be honest,
Right.
I mean, it could be absolutely fucking terrible, or it could be mildly better than Daredevil.
So Casey, what do you think?
Iron Fist. I don't know.
I like when
Okay,
when Matt Murdock put on Jessica Jones' scarf. And
That
she
was-
was
that
like,
was
and,
Yes.
yeah, and she was like, it looks terrible, and he's like, well, it's your scarf.
Right.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch.
Casey.
Okay, so I loved Daredevil season 1. I love Daredevil season 2 even more because of the Punisher mostly and Elektra.
Right.
Luke Cage was amazing, but it had a few weak points, a few slow points. Jessica Jones was probably the best story, even though it didn't have as good action or characters as Daredevil and Iron Fist. But I
Wait,
like
so Foggy didn't
Iron
get
Fist,
on your nerves? I mean, Jesus Christ! I
The
want to
best part of this
strangle
Iron
trailer
her.
Fist was
is when they're
decent. I
interacting
felt
with
like
each
it was
other.
great. I mean, not great, but it's good.
Well, the world
Foggy
would
and
disagree.
that other chick. Oh my God!
All right.
I
All right.
think
Let
the
Casey
redhead-
finish his points. Let
I
Casey
think
the
finish his
redhead.
I'm just gonna say
She's
that
hot.
one little action scene bothered me when they were in the hallway, because if you just look closely, they're just kind of going through the motions. It wasn't that well choreographed for like a trailer where like that's the punch that like sets
Right.
it all off. But the best parts of the trailer were them talking to each other from all their different walks of life, and I really liked that. And if it's gonna work, that's what's gonna be most important. Just like in the Avengers, yeah, you're gonna have the Hulk punch a giant space snake, and that's gonna be awesome. But the really best parts of that movie were them coming together and becoming a team.
Yeah.
So if that
That's what
works in
needs to be
Defenders,
functional.
Defenders is gonna be great.
Okay. All right. All right.
I need
Corey.
to focus on the interplay.
Yeah.
Corey.
I'm hyped for it. I want to see him all. I just want to see more Jessica Jones, to be honest.
Someone's gotta
Kristen
dress
Ritter's
up.
pretty awesome too, but
Because Jessica Jones was the best one, I felt like. I like the Iron Fist. Luke Cage, decent. Daredevil
She had the
was
best
on,
villain.
right?
She had
Yeah.
the way best villain by
Yeah,
far.
for sure.
She's the best
Oh, yeah.
character.
Yeah, he
She's
was.
I
the
think he's
best
one of the
character.
best Marvel villains, bar none.
Yeah,
put him
Kilgrave
up
was
there.
scary, dude. Like
Yeah.
he was a real threat to her.
David
No one
Tennant's
else
amazing.
threatens the other event, the other defenders
Right.
like that.
So my 2 points beyond that is I watched some analysis videos of it, and I did like if you go back and watch it, each one of them has their own color. So
Yeah.
like for example, like when Jessica Jones is in the police department getting grilled, it's all purple behind her
Yeah.
from Kilgrave, and then when
He's-
Daredevil
Luke
comes to the
Cage is
door,
yellow.
the door is red that he
Red,
walks
yeah.
through and stuff. So they're paying a lot of attention to that kind of crap, and I thought it was pretty cool when you go back and watch
I'll have to
that.
go back and check it out.
You know who realized that first was Punisher because he called him Red all the damn time. and I
Yeah,
love
right. Yep, totally. And the other point was there's a scene in Luke Cage where I think it's like the third episode where big huge dude punches him in the face and it just shows his hand shatter as he's punching him. So they did the callback to that shot with the Iron Fist who bust up
But it
his
worked.
face in slow motion. Yeah, so I just thought that
Yeah.
was really cool. If you watch those two shots back to back, it's the
Yeah.
exact same thing. And and I thought it was cool. I liked how Danny and Luke get to be friends by fighting each other, and Daredevil and Jessica Jones get to be friends in the courtroom and stuff.
Yeah.
So
That was cool.
I have kind of high hopes for it. I think those
That's a good way to make
yeah,
all the
they're
worlds
definitely
kinda
tying
collide.
the team together well.
Yeah,
it seems
and
like.
with all those Marvel shows, like I like all of them. I agree with you guys. Jessica Jones was the best one. I think though that the action in Daredevil was great. Really,
It was.
for a TV show and for any of
Oh,
these.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I
That
I
first
liked-
hallway fight.
Yeah,
Here's
first
the thing,
hallway
though.
fight and the
Think
season
about
2
Jessica
stairway
Jones.
Fight, I just
Yeah.
really blew me away. That was like kung fu movie quality stuff.
Absolutely.
For me,
I
Oh,
wish
it's like
they
The
did
Raid.
more of that.
Have you guys seen The Raid? Watch The Raid.
the raid.
It's just like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and The Raid too. Amazing movies.
I just think the Marvel series in general could have been chopped by 3-4 episodes.
Agreed. We yeah.
It's just too
100%.
much filler.
Yep, 100%. Yep.
Well, each season
Five.
gives the villain like 2 episodes just to their backstory.
Yeah.
And
Right.
with Kingpin that really worked, and Punisher
Kilgrave.
obviously,
Yeah.
and Kilgrave. Yeah, but like if you think of Jessica Jones versus Daredevil, think of besides Kilgrave, is there any other character you remember from Jessica Jones?
Oh,
I
yeah.
can think of like 10, like Stick from
They had
Daredevil,
that weird cop.
Foggy,
Trish.
They had
or-
Trish.
Trish.
Yeah. And the weird cop. And the doctor.
All right. So this conversation has gone on for half an hour now.
Rosario Dawson's the best one that goes between all of them, honestly.
Who's dating Eric Andre.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Tying it all together.
Totally.
All right. So we're gonna have Dirk's gonna drop, and Chance is gonna join us for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Spectacular, because Dirk hasn't seen it yet, right?
I have
Yeah.
not. I'm seeing it this weekend.
Dirk,
Get
will tell
on
you,
it, Dirk.
It's great.
I know.
Where's
I
your
know.
money,
Spoilers,
buddy?
it's great.
That's what I've heard.
All
That's what
right,
I've heard.
let's move along.
Later. Peace
See you,
out. All right, here we go. Full spoilers on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We got a couple guests here with us today. We got my buddy Chance.
Everyone dies at the
homie.
end.
Yeah, me and Chance saw it together today. I think we saw it most recently. He's seen it twice. I saw it once. We got Casey,
As usual,
as usual, our movie review expert.
correspondent.
Expert. I like the sound of that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So we can put links to their description, or links to their stuff in our description, as we always do.
Yeah.
Chance, what do you got? I hear you do some streaming or
Live streaming, and I make music.
cool.
So
Yeah, we'll throw
Send-
all that in the
send
description
Nate
so everybody can
links.
check it out.
cool. Absolutely.
Yep, totally. And Casey, as usual, if you watch Comically Gaming, you know Casey, the movie night. We'll put the link to his YouTube channel in the description. I don't know, Casey, you want to hype it up any more than that?
Oh man, I mean, it's so incredible. It's me. I talk movies. I see new movies every week. I give my opinions, and I do my best. I hope people like it. So it's fun.
It's the best.
All right, well, let's let it rip.
All right.
Not everyone actually dies at the end. Just want to put that out there.
We did say spoilers, so.
Okay. So now no one's gonna go see it because I just like ruined everything else in the Marvel universe.
Totally.
Yeah, they actually canceled Infinity Wars just because they wanted to kill off the Guardians.
And everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think fair to say, I've seen, Casey, I watched your review. You gave it 9.5. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the highest I've given anything so far.
I'm 5.
Yeah, and I think fair to say all 4 of us liked the movie,
Oh yeah.
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
I personally feel like just kind of as an overall point that the first one, there was nothing like it at the time, so it kind of had a little bit more of an impact to me, anyways. That first time I was sitting in the theater, now going to see Volume 2, you kind of know at least what the style of it is going to be like and whatnot. But just the whole time, I just sat there with a smile on my face. From that opening battle was so awesome. Just set the stage perfect, you know.
Set the
Yeah.
soundtrack perfect too.
Yeah.
That's the best song on the soundtrack. That's right.
I mean, you're wrong because that Cheap Trick song that I can't remember the
Surrender.
Surrender, yeah. Dude,
I like
it's
Cat
a
Stevens
special
again,
place
too.
in my heart, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. The soundtrack was amazing. Same with the first one, but yeah.
First, I don't know if you guys usually like go in an order or anything like that. Should I like wait a second to talk?
So
We can
I
jump
Shut the
feel
fuck up. We're trying to talk.
I feel like we'll talk about like chunks, just basically beginning, middle, end, and just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Let's talk about
Okay.
impressions of the beginning of the film to start with.
Absolutely. I personally, overall, I really enjoyed this movie a lot more than I enjoyed the first one. I don't think there was a single moment where I wasn't like actively laughing, not just smiling. Like every 6 to 8 seconds, there's like something that somebody does or something happening in the background, and it's like, the whole time.
For sure.
The I don't know if that was part of the middle or not, but the part where I'm so bad with character names. Blue chick.
Nebula.
Nebula.
There you go.
Duh. I feel like I definitely knew that.
Me and
you see
Nate
it
are
twice?
terrible.
Yeah, we're terrible. Yeah. You fall in line with Comically Gaming if you can't remember characters' names.
There we go. The whole setup for eating the root and it's not ripe.
Right.
Like that whole thing was just like absolutely fantastic.
It's not right. She finally gets it. It's not right. That was awesome.
It was so good.
Yeah, I felt like, so myself personally, just, again, I want to skip all over too when I talk about this, but that opening fight just totally, to my mind, set the stage perfect where, first of all, the Groot stuff was awesome. That had a big potential to be too cheesy, and it wasn't. When he's waving to Gamora and she's like, "Get out of the way," and then she looks at him and is like, "Okay, hi," it was perfect. And then the actual fight that was going on in the background, the way that watching those 4 little bodies fighting that gigantic raging machine, like to me, that was comic booky. There's so many panes of comic books that you can see where there's some huge monster and here's, a single guy with a jetpack, just firing a blaster at it and they win because they're the good guys, they're the Guardians, and just set the stage perfect for me,
Yeah, that intro scene for me, like, it set the stage because you don't really watch the fight. It pans and it follows Baby Groot the whole time, just dancing because he's all excited about the music. He's like setting up music like that's his job because he's not big enough to fight anymore. And it's like, we know they're not going to lose to this like, anonymous space monster thing.
Right.
It's just the beginning of the movie, so it's like they underplay that. And when she goes like hi to Baby Groot, it made me realize, okay, he's not just Groot small, he's baby in his mind too.
Yeah.
He like acts like a baby,
Yeah.
so they treat him like one, and that kind of set the stage for what we can expect out of his character for the rest of the movie. And it had so many payoffs throughout.
And I don't know if, I guess this is going comic booky. I feel like in the comic books, when Groot gets shattered into splinters and is put into a little flower pot and has to regrow, I don't think he has a baby's mind. He's always still just Groot. I feel like that was a difference with the movie for sure. But I dug it. It was cool. It was Baby
Well, in the
Groot.
comics, he can grow
pulled it off.
like 50 feet, can he? And then he like comes back down. Because I remember him fighting the Hulk in one thing, and he grew to be like 100 feet tall, and he was like beating the hell out of the Hulk like a rag doll, like Hulk did to Loki in the Avengers. And then he came back down and was able to fit into a building the next moment. But they do it different.
Yeah, and then he'll get shattered into splinters. Like, there's multiple scenes where Rocket will be frantically searching for a splinter of Groot, to replant and bring him back to life or whatever whenever they're in a huge battle. And so Baby Groot was definitely different from the comics, I felt like, but he was awesome for sure.
And Teenage Groot.
Teenage Groot was awesome. Skip to the way end. I thought that was hilarious. For sure.
Yeah, agreed. And I watched a bunch of videos today about it and all the Easter eggs and everything, and everybody seems to kind of speculate that they're kind of showing how fast he grows to get him back to full-grown, full-size, mature Groot by the Infinity War movies or whatnot.
Yeah.
He's got to be able to fight,
Yeah. The one other thing about that, so we've jumped straight to the very end, the closing credits.
After credits.
The after credits. It's
unprecedented 5 of them.
Yeah,
so
right.
crazy.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, and when Star-Lord goes in the room, he can understand Groot. That's the first time that happens, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like Stewie and Family Guy, where like they get the gist of it, but Rocket understands verbatim what he's saying.
Right.
As at least how I interpreted it is like they get what he means, even if they don't know exactly what he's saying.
Sure.
True, but it seemed like in that end credit that he understood him at a higher level.
I was
for
going to
sure.
say, like, it definitely seemed that, like, the longer people had, like, the more time people had spent around him, the more they were just able to understand him more.
Sure.
Kind of like recognizing the difference between, like, Groot and Groot,
Right.
It's
Right.
all
It's
inflection.
not a good example. Yeah, it's literally, his whole language is just inflections, and Rocket's just good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Rocket just good at it, though, or does he actually understand him? Because
Who's been around him the longest?
I
So
was going to say he's been around him the longest, but also isn't he, like, genetically modified to, like, be able to understand most languages?
I don't think he's quite C-3PO level, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But he definitely seems to understand Groot. I mean, he translates for him.
this is some
Yeah.
deep cuts nerd shit right now. We are cutting deep
Right.
to the lore.
Hold on, let me go get my glasses.
I'm getting sweaty, you guys. Come on, sweaty nerd shit.
We're
So
working too hard.
we'll jump ahead a little bit, just kind of talk about the middle of the flick a little bit. Essentially is, again, we're way past spoiler warnings here, but Groot steals the batteries at the opening fight as they take off.
Groot.
Rocket does.
Oh, Rocket. Yeah, I'm sorry. And then as they take off, the Sovereign, chases them down because of it. In one of a bunch of parallels to Empire Strikes Back, they got to enter the asteroid field to escape them, and then Ego comes and just annihilates everybody in one shot and surfs by, smiling and waving and whatnot. I think also another Empire parallel is split up the group. there after the opening fight to go around and do their different things, and then of course the daddy problems as well. But
Or how about the guy welcoming you to this beautiful planet and then turning on you?
yeah, yep.
Also Cloud City-ish.
Yep, absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Whether we're talking about the new Star Wars movies or talking about these, I love the fact that everybody does all these odes to the original Star Wars movies. You know what I mean? That was my friggin' life.
For sure.
And,
It's
it's
a space
awesome.
opera. You have to pay your due.
Yeah,
that's-
exactly.
Plus, Disney owns all of it now, which makes
Right?
it awesome. Which is
All
what they
the
made.
family.
I think my favorite joke of the movie was the Mary Poppins joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
dude.
I laughed out loud. Like I'm not a big laugh out louder at the movies, but
Dude,
I laughed out loud for that one.
super,
And
like,
they
you
can
were
do that because of Disney. It was so funny. Like,
Yeah.
So great.
is he badass?
You're damn right he is.
It's totally badass. I'm Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that's great for sure. For sure.
I'm never
So-
gonna
You know what's crazy?
y'all.
It's like the first moment in the movie that blew my mind was the actual, like, I think it's the actual first moment where you see Star-Lord's mom driving in a car back on Earth, and she's with like a young Russell
Kurt Russell.
Russell,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that guy. I don't know who they cast, but that's young Kurt Russell right now. And then I looked into it after I saw the movie, and it's a guy who they used his like jawline and face and hair
Sure.
to be like the model, and then they just did like the thing they
It's
did
all
in
computer.
Ant-Man with Michael Douglas and made it look younger. I was like, dude, you were really close up. Like it looked like 1975. I don't even know Kurt Russell, but that blew my mind.
I
Good
thought
that
it
was.
was him. Like,
Did you?
And they just
I thought-
CGI'd like his face or something. It could
I
really.
watched-
I don't know. My brain kind of picks it out a little bit. He's too smooth. Like I felt like they smoothed her up to match him. To be honest, and I thought they did it well. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah,
But
it
the
looked
same
really
thing
cool.
with like the Tarkin and Leia. Like to me, they look bad to me. They throw something in my mind that just.
They looked they looked a little too like clean lines and stuff. I thought him next to the real actress looked really good, and
Yeah.
the only bad thought I had was I was like, damn, Star-Lord's mom's pretty sexy.
Dude, the part where it like goes from their heads down, I was like, that is a butt.
Yeah,
So what?
that's
do
not
we,
the pot I've been planting.
Ah.
What do you guys? What's the opinion of them changing Star-Lord's origin? Do we care? Is it okay that
It
his
served the
dad is
story.
Ego?
I
I
know
mean,
absolutely nothing about the comics other than Yondu was the only original cast member. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Wasn't
feel like
Adam Warlock his dad in the comics?
No, his dad's name is Jason.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne.
he's from
I heard
Earth,
lots of
right?
Multiple things.
What's that?
His real
I heard
dad's
multiple things.
from Earth.
He's not from Earth, no, but he's not Ego.
He's not ego. Well,
Yeah.
either way, I set the MCU's the MCU. The Marvel Universe is the Marvel Universe.
Right.
They're separate to me at this point. As long as
Sure.
it's good, I'm down. You know,
It made for a good story, and when you're making a movie, that's what really matters. If you change the continuity of things, they've done it in comic book movies since the beginning of comic book movies. But as long as it serves the story in a way that makes it better from start to to finish, I'm always cool with it. I mean,
Yeah.
you can make Johnny Storm black, and I don't care. Like as long as the story is good and the characters are rich and they have something interesting to do, that's all that matters.
Yep. I agree 100%. My favorite comic ever is Watchmen, and I was happy with the way that they totally changed the end of that. Because it made sense. It was good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Kirk Russell, I think, he seems to be back from the dead. Just watched The Hateful Eight recently, and he's awesome in that too. I thought he was good in this. They're
I haven't seen
kinda-
it.
yeah, their interaction off of each other of both being arrogant bastards, basically. I thought went really well.
I thought Sylvester Stallone was a little misplaced.
Like a sore thumb for sure.
Yeah, what? Yeah, the moment he popped up, you're like, oh, Sylvester Stallone. There he is.
Yeah,
Right.
he doesn't.
And
he does,
and it
he's
was
like
him.
the only person.
Can I just say this? I think it says a lot that in a movie full of weird aliens and stuff that he was the one that seemed out of place.
Right?
Out of everything.
Yeah.
You got guys with like foots growing out of their forehead that talk weird and have like, spikes out of their neck, and he looked like really strange to me in the movie.
Totally.
Yeah. Side
Yeah,
point,
I don't-
the guy with the diamond skin looked freaking awesome. That was so cool.
Sure.
Anyway, continue.
Totally.
For sure. But Stallone, yeah, what was the point of that? It's like, he's not a good actor.
And so apparently,
He's good
And
at
watch
playing
Korean.
Sylvester
Pretty good.
Stallone.
I've watched 2 different interviews saying that James Gunn wants to include the Marauders in more stuff. Like, apparently he's got the reins of, what do they call it? Marvel's cosmic films. He's writing the story for the next 10 years of that.
Yeah, he's
And
the
so-
overseer.
Right. So they're gonna the Marauders are gonna play a part in it. Sure.
I read something about that, like the people that were in that group with him that kind of at the end accepted Yondu, like post-mortem or whatever, that they were like a big deal in the comics and were kind of close to like what the first Guardians were or something like that.
Yeah, so they were the first Guardians.
That's what it was.
Yeah, the 4.
Yeah,
that
that's
were
what
introduced-
Dad was telling me. I
Yes.
called Dad after we watched it, and he told me that you told him that. And I never read the old Guardians, so
Yep.
I didn't know about that.
Well, I knew
So-
Yondu was, but he also just had a bow and arrow, and he looked totally.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Exactly.
He had
Yeah, but
several cool
yeah,
arrows.
Yondu and the 4 of them were the Guardians of the Galaxy when it was first launched in the 60s or whatnot.
Yeah.
Also, the one thing to note about them is the red, like, seahorse looking dude, his name was Kruger. So he is actually a big deal in Doctor Strange. And if you noticed, or when you go back and watch it, he's got the Doctor Strange, like, circle mystical stuff right in front of
Yeah.
him. And then
Nice.
he, like, gives thumbs up
The
in
thumbs
that
up. I was,
thing.
Yeah, I saw that, but it was like a split screen, so I didn't notice it right away. I like glanced over because it was,
Yeah.
too much stuff to look at.
Yep.
he's actually who I looked at first because he looks like he to me looked like one of the Zerg from StarCraft. Except
Right.
with no scales. So I was like, I like this guy. And then Doctor Strange is like my favorite Marvel movie.
Sure.
So,
Wow.
whoa,
Yeah,
your opinion sucks, bro. No, so like the
that's
magic
surprising.
thing, I was like, yes, more.
Yeah.
For
no,
sure.
I was really impressed by the way that they handled like Gamora and Nebula's like sister, like hateful and then kind of mournful relationship with like the understanding they built into that. Because like it seems like she's just gonna be on a warpath, and then it really changes, and you lose Yondu, but you kind of gain another Guardian as you lose one. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm curious to see how that goes going forward into the next films with them.
Yeah.
I will say,
Go ahead.
if we're talking about complaints, we're not talking about complaints, but this is one of my complaints. Nebula, when they showed the close-up of her face and they were talking about how she's part machine, it was super clear that the metal stuff around her eye was not metal, that it was makeup. Like,
Sounds
I don't know if,
Yeah.
if anyone else noticed that.
Sure.
It was very...
That's what space metal looks like.
I don't know. I mean, it did not look like metal at all when they like showed a close up on her face and her talking to Gamora. It was
Yeah, it looked like
it
putty.
kind of it took away a little bit for me for a second. And then I was
Sure.
like, okay, just put it out of your mind.
Yeah.
We're watching a good movie here.
Right.
I didn't
So-
notice it, honestly.
Yeah, that thought didn't cross my mind, but you say that, and yeah, there was a lot of kind of close-ups of her face that were, again, it kind of moved a lot and whatnot. So I think kind of one of my complaints about the first one, which there weren't many, is that it was a little heavy-handed with, we all don't have friends, and now we're friends. Like, they kind of did that about 7 times in the first movie, and I thought the theme of this movie was a lot more, okay, we're more than friends, we're family now. We like to bicker and fight and all this stuff, but ultimately we got each other's backs more than even our biological family or whatnot. And I just thought they did a lot better job of being less heavy-handed in that. You know, they would mention it here and there, but it didn't seem overly kind of cheesy or too much to me.
So what do you guys think
I
of?
definitely didn't feel like I was watching the Fast and Furious, so
Sure.
like that's a bonus.
I thought that in the trailer where they're like, "We got family." I was like, "Is that Vin Diesel?" Because Vin Diesel's in this movie too. Like,
Yeah.
barely.
Yeah.
That it could have been cheesy. I feel like the Rocket part could have been cheesy because he's like the one that's so outspoken about not trusting people, and for good reason because of his backstory. But that scene with him and Yondu made that part work because Yondu like identify with him, and he's like, "That was me too," but you have to get over it because these people are worth it. And I was like, "Well said. That's cool." That washed over the whole cheesiness part of it for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Corey. Go ahead.
how do we feel about Peter and Gamora's relationship? Were we happy with their?
Let's go.
Should he have put it in, or were we happy with?
did.
I mean, I almost
I
wanted.
mean,
Yeah,
like-
they had the dance. Come on.
Dude, he
Yeah.
like
A little
touched
more
the
than
waist
the
at the end, you know?
Yeah, the
Touched
waist.
the waist at the
Waist
end. That
touch.
was like,
That's all we get.
well, I mean, it's a Marvel movie, which is a Disney
Oh,
movie.
You can kiss. I mean,
So
you
my
can kiss
I mean-
in Disney movies.
my two thoughts. I'm okay with it, if I'm honest. Maybe I'm the only one out of the four of us. The other thing is, it was funny that they did sneak in robot prostitutes into
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
movie for the first time ever,
Yeah.
and
For sure.
to show.
And
I
they
would
just
see
button
more
his
of them.
pants.
Yeah, buttoning his pants
Yeah.
up with a bunch of robot prostitutes in the back. That was pretty. I don't know, whatever, crazy.
But
for
they don't.
Disney.
They don't flat out say it. But if you think they go to a cantina in any Star Wars movie and all those guys aren't surrounded by prostitutes, you're lying to yourself. There's got to be space prostitutes.
You're
out
wrong.
Yeah,
Well-
totally. That's funny. So
Hey,
yeah,
I gotta say this too. Like Marvel is synonymous with one problem throughout their entire cinematic universe, and that's the villain problem. I felt like this villain was awesome because at first I was thinking, why are they introducing his dad in the first 15 minutes? Why did they show it in the trailer? They're giving it all away, but they weren't because he was the villain. Like people were trying to talk about the villain in non-spoiler reviews, and they were talking about the gold people, the sovereign, and I'm like, they're not the villain. They're just like pissed off in the background.
yeah,
With
You know, like
reason.
they're like the cops.
Rocket
you
shouldn't
know.
have stoned. He shouldn't have stole that. That was a dick move.
Yeah,
They have
they
reason to
explain
be
it, but-
pissed off.
I felt like the whole villain line in this movie was like the pivotal moment of it was when he told Peter that he put the tumor in his mom's fucking head.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
dude.
"You're dead, mother! I don't care if you're a god. You're so dead right now."
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Peter
so
thought the same way.
That was
First time
on
that
par
I
with
watched
Bucky
that.
killing Robert Downey or Iron Man's parents. Like,
Right.
that was
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
You
and I
don't
just
kill people's-
love the reaction, how his eyes cleared up and then just boom, 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 just like right in his face there. And again, like I think whether we're talking about the boss at the end or that stuff there, like I just love the scale of these
Oh, yeah.
characters fighting these epic, it's a freaking planet. You know what I mean? And
Dude,
that's
and
what
there's
the boss
emotional
man is.
moments there. Like it's not just like CGI explosion of blowing up stuff. It's like and I love that he didn't just say you shouldn't have killed my mom. He said you shouldn't have killed my mom or crushed my Walkman.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah,
They're both
he was
precious.
hurt, man. Dude,
that was fucked up.
Thank God he got the Zune though, right?
oh,
Yeah, he's got the Zune. That's what
Thank
all people
God.
on Earth listen.
That might be
still
my
has to have a
favorite
Zune.
fucking joke of the movie. Is the Zune. Yeah, it's what everyone's listening to on Earth apparently.
Yeah, is the next soundtrack going to have 300
so-
songs on it?
So should we take votes? I say Mary Poppins was the best joke. You're saying
I
Zune?
think
Zune.
Taserface was pretty good when he's ripping on Taserface.
Even
Yeah.
the sovereign lady laughed at him.
Yeah, when the sovereign lady laughed, that's how you knew it. That's how you knew shit was going down. That was so funny.
Yeah.
That was good.
No, my favorite joke in the whole movie is actually kind of like a bittersweet joke because he's kind of making it in like a scenario where he just realized that his dad killed his mom. But when Rocket says like your family has issues or something like that, and he just goes, "Of course we do. That's my dad." And it's like a nervous system with fire coming off of it. It's like, "Wah."
Yeah,
And
totally.
Yeah.
I laughed super hard at that both times that I watched the movie.
Yeah.
That was-
Yeah, my face hurt about halfway through the movie because I have not laughed that many times and that hard through a movie. Like I can't remember the last time.
Yeah.
Comedies don't work that well. Like this movie, like just makes you laugh because you like the characters and they're all set up in these hilarious scenarios where it's supposed to be super serious and Rocket's just like, "Fucking, you guys are douchebags." You're just like trying to say, "Rocket," like.
Or like
Wink.
there's the gigantic
Winks with
epic
left eye.
battle to determine the fate of the universe going on, and everybody's looking for tape.
Oh, dude,
You know?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's,
forgot about
That
was
part
just
got
cool.
kind of spoiled by the spoilers. I mean, by the trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the
Wow.
tape part to me, unless I
I
just
didn't
tuned
watch
out
a
at that
single
point.
trailer.
The tape
watched
part
the
was a
single
huge trailer.
Was it? I must have missed that one somehow.
The second one, yeah.
Somehow
Yeah.
I saved myself.
I watched no trailers. I knew absolutely nothing about the movie going in. Like
That's good.
the only movie trailers that I've even been watching recently are just Spider-Man because
Right.
that's a whole other conversation. But
Yep.
I knew absolutely nothing going in. I knew that it was about his dad, or about him finding his dad, or his dad finding him, and that was it. And I knew that the visuals were super good. So, but I mean, like, it's a Marvel movie, so
It's a good way to go into it. We want to stop watching trailers because they spoil too much. But
Can't help ourselves.
it's hard to have a web show where you talk about movies and not watch trailers.
yeah,
Yeah, totally.
You know
Sure.
what? You know what character I was surprised didn't show up is Thanos. Like
Yeah.
this is probably the last time we're gonna see the universe really. Maybe Thor, but without seeing Thanos, it's like they showed us Thanos not in a post-credit scene for the first time ever in Guardians 1, and I thought for sure with all the character ties with Nebula and Gamora
Yeah.
and stuff that he'd pop up right at the end or at least in an extra credit scene. And I was really surprised they didn't show anything about him because like he's got to be getting close to being on his way towards us. I don't know if it's
Sure.
going to all happen in Thor Ragnarok, but I mean that's the last chance they're going to have to really show why he's coming here or why we would be involved in any way.
I really like the fact that they didn't. It's
Yeah.
a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but I really like the fact that, at least for a while, they were definitely like keeping certain characters out of the out of contact with each other, and I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy was doing that really well. And I know that they're obviously going to be in Infinity Wars, but I feel like it was almost imperative that they keep a cohesive storyline that didn't touch anything until Infinity Wars comes out, because of the way that I've read online that they're going to be hooking things up between the different storylines. So,
Don't spoil that for me.
I'm not even going to spoil it for myself. I don't
And
know
that's
anything
fair
about
too,
it.
because this movie doesn't include an Infinity Stone, and the last one did.
Correct.
It was Power Stone. So there's really no reason, I guess, to mention Thanos other than his kind of familiar.
I feel like with
contact.
I feel like with Nebula, they pulled him in enough that he had another daughter. I mean, they pulled Thanos' family into it more.
Yeah.
Brought him up more. I mean, they mentioned him enough. He didn't need to have to have.
Did you guys
Yeah,
read about that? Some people think that the Soul Stone is like part of the cocoon with Adam Warlock. That some people claim to have seen it there. I don't think that's true. I think it
Yeah, I
won't
don't
show
think
up
so
in
either.
Thor, but that's the last one we haven't seen yet. So
Right. Yeah, so I kind of disagree a little bit. Like, I wish that it was, at this point, that 1 year when the first Guardians came out in Thor Ragnarok, I just loved how they tied the Norse mythology and space opera in with current day Avengers, and all these people are in the same universe now. Like, they can't bring them together fast enough for me, to be honest. I think it just makes the whole thing so much more rich when you could go from Earth, space to the dark elf, universe or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the hardest thing will be what do they do after that? Nothing will
Right.
top that ever. I think they need to do scrolls after that
Hey,
because I think the
man.
coolest thing would be like Avengers who are like skin changers and they're like infiltrating the Avengers, but they're not the real people. While they're like, I think that'd be the coolest thing to do after Infinity War. But nothing tops Infinity War. It came out like 20 years ago. It's still the biggest thing that ever happened. So
They got it.
I personally think that there's lots of things better than Infinity War, such as the Justice League. I think that movie. Sorry. Anyway,
how many movies are leading into Justice League? Like
No, it's
4, and there's like
Two.
6 characters, but there's like 80 characters in Infinity War.
there's like 3 movies that are leading into Justice League, and all of them are Batman movies.
Let's
Green
celebrate how
Lantern?
good
Because it was
Guardians
supposed
of
to
the
start with
Galaxy
Green
is.
Lantern.
Oh god. I like
Sorry,
it.
I don't mean to put
Deadpool?
salt, but
We don't need to tear DC to pieces in the one.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
they're
Do
asking
better.
for
I want you to do better.
Yeah, we do. DC sucks, and we just saw an awesome Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So,
another awesome Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like the DC universe has a decent movie, and Marvel over and over again is just hitting like they're just
Yeah, for
going
sure.
strides.
Well, like,
Real
what's the worst
story.
Marvel movie? Like Iron Man 2? It's still way better than Suicide Squad. That movie
Iron
sucks
Man 3.
dick.
Iron Man
Iron
3,
Man
yeah.
3, it's way worse than Iron Man.
What? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Look,
Had a little
Minus,
kid.
minus like the very ending. I mean, you're like wearing an Iron Man shirt, so like you probably have a stronger opinion than I do. But I'm
I
like,
agree.
It's just what I was wearing today.
Iron Man 3.
Totally.
the
All right.
ending to Iron Man 3 was just.
So to be honest, we've gone over half an hour already. Gonna cut it
All right.
short here at some point. I think the only thing that we didn't really talk about in the post credits was the Atom. That doesn't really. If you weren't into comics, you'd have no idea what the heck's going on there.
Adam
Even
Warlock?
if you are into comics, I didn't know when I walked out of the theater until I went home and Wikipedia'd it,
Yeah.
myself. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
apparently.
neither.
Yeah, apparently he's going to be a huge part of it going forward, and was in the old books. The other thing is the Stan Lee cameo. Everybody's
That's
talking about
crazy.
how that all of a sudden that ties every movie together. That he's in
the
the
Watcher.
credits. Yeah,
Or he's one of the
The
Watchers.
Watchers.
in the
so
in the
genius.
credits he's credited as Watcher Informer. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they don't talk or anything, and obviously he's driving them nuts by yapping at them. But yeah, cool stuff. And I don't know if you guys have any other points. My one more point that I had down here that I did want to just kind of mention is that I thought that Drax was awesome. It was so cool. Like, he didn't have any of that, like, trying to gain trust with them once he was just their friends. I just thought from the get-go he was hilarious and
Yeah.
like such a cool buddy to all of them and stuff.
He was.
You're
Drax
hideous.
is great.
You're disgusting.
He always has the best jokes, too. He's so freaking funny.
Dude.
Yeah.
And it's like deadpan, like the best humor. He's just like, you're disgusting. You're throwing up. Like, I'm imagining us copulating, and he's like actively like about to throw up. I was like, oh,
Dude, it's so dry and perfect. It's like if Monty Python wrote a comic book character. Like, they're like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if someone had no idea about social cues or how to like
Right.
hide their emotions, and they just said literally whatever was on their mind, and always
Did
was
you
the
make a
funniest person.
penis?
my father would tell the story
Oh, man.
of my
So-
conception every winter solstice.
That's way too much penis in American Gods, by the way.
We'll talk about that later. That's a different part. Or earlier.
That's an opinion.
That is my opinion.
Does Ian McShane go full fucking frontal? That'd be crazy.
So do you guys have? Let's go around. Chance, you got any extra points you didn't make, or just a?
How about
final point,
scores
or-
too? I gave my score, so
Oh yeah.
Scores.
I'm not a good scorer, but I'd probably give it like a solid 8 out of 10. There's some minor details that like I didn't like, but overall, it's a fantastic movie. Definitely go watch it in a movie theater because that's the best way to see a comedy, and it's an action comedy. So do it.
For sure.
That's pretty much all I've got.
Corey.
I think I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with the 8 out of 10 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, great movie, great sequel. That, yeah, I had no complaints about it. Nothing that blew my mind about it. Took it, to a 10 out of 10 level, but it was great all around. Loved it. Marvel continues to do good.
Let's win the poker hand with Trips 8s. I think it was as good as, kind of like after we watched Doctor Strange, Corey, when I got out of that and I said to you, like, to be honest, now with these movies, I just have an expectation of how good they're going to be, and they meet it, and I just sit back and enjoy the ride, kind of one after another sort of thing. Like, to me, if I'm putting, if I look at like what's a 10 to Nate, like it's something like 2001, or A Streetcar Named Desire, or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or Seven Samurai. Like,
You're aging yourself right now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Seven
you're
Samurai's
like,
have got about
those
50
are
years on me,
throwbacks,
even
dude.
as well. Like, I just, and same thing with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I think that came out before I was alive. But
Me too.
there's certain things that I think just as film, like, moved things in a way that a comic book movie never can, sort of thing. So to me, like, a 8 is a 10 for a Marvel movie, to be honest. My minor gripes are so minor, you know what I mean, that they're not even worth mentioning. But just loved it. Just walked out and said, man, that was a great movie. I'm glad they're still continuing to knock this shit out of the park.
Yeah,
Sure.
they're just on a roll, and they have been for like 3 or 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
Like where they're just like consistently hitting like every point that they need to continue making these movies. Like everybody thought, like we've had 2 years of basically nothing but superhero movies, and then like, oh, this will die eventually, but like everybody's still going to see every Marvel movie that comes out, and they're just killing
Iron
it.
Man came out in 2008, so we're talking like 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, my concept of time is like, oh, I have to work tomorrow.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, I don't
That's
have
what
to
I
work
know.
today.
I know things. I have a Game of Thrones shirt that says, "That's what I do. I drink and I know things." I wear it to trivia at the bar.
Totally. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks, everybody,
absolutely.
for watching.
We're gonna have Chance back on for a spotlight on his shit in a later show.
Let's do it.
Because I'm valuable as a person.
Yes, it's good.
Are you available next week?
Probably.
All right, we'll do it next week then.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right, awesome.
All right,
I
guys.
know nothing about comics, so have a wonderful night, gentlemen.
All right.